Come on. What? No way. I don't believe it. How can this be? This truck always starts. I don't. There's no way. No. I don't believe it. What'd I ever do to you, huh?
No!
Come on, baby. If you start for me this time, I'll take you uptown. Wash, wax, detail, oil change. Come on. Well, it ain't gonna start. I'm gonna have to accept that. I've gotta rise above it. I gotta solve this problem. Welcome to the 5 stages of a no start. All right, guys, well, we've clearly got a nice truck here that won't start. I guess step 1 today, let me use my self-defense / hood opening device. Let's dig into this and see what the hell's going on here. In all the years I've ever had this old truck, not starting has never been an option until today. Weather's getting nice out, sun's coming out. You know, I want to take my hot rod out for a spin. So let's go over some probable causes of said no start. Dead battery, bad starter, bad wires, ignition switch. Yep, that's pretty much everything. There's not much to these old trucks. So now, being that I keep my battery on a battery maintainer all the time, chances are my battery's probably not dead. And a couple other things I can tell you. When I hit the key, brake light comes on real bright. Speaking in generalities with these old squares, what? That wind is angry out there today. Never mind. Speaking in generalities with these old squares, if your brake light comes on real strong, or your choke light, or whatever light you have that kind of goes when you're rolling it over, comes on real bright and nothing happens, that tells me that I probably have a connection issue. So let's dive into that, shall we? So I'm going to rule out a bad connection here. Let's go down there and have a look at the old starter. Is it just me, or if your vehicle isn't going to start, it's going to not start in the most inconvenient place it could possibly not start? The only place worse than laying in the dirt would be laying out there in a mud puddle. So I guess let's see what we got here. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay. I don't think that's the problem. Okay, guys, let's fast forward to step 6 of this 4-step process here. Battery connections are good. Starter connections are probably good. Here's how I'm going to test both of those at the same time. I went to my toolbox and grabbed my little, push the button and wire it starter. That's gonna tell me right away quick if my starter's good and if my battery's good, if the engine will roll over. Let's see what we got. Let's give it a shot. Well, let's see where we're at here now. So, battery's good. Starter's good. I know the wires going to the starter are probably good because I got power to the cab. I can't tell you if the trigger wire is good because if the ignition switch is bad, it obviously won't send any power to the trigger wire. I guess my next whole step in this process, I gotta crawl underneath the stupid dash of this stupid truck and change the ignition switch. Off to the parts store. And back from the parts store with empty hands, as you can see. Guess what? Nobody stocks an ignition switch for a 1987 GMC pickup truck. Who'd have thought? Let's try this again tomorrow. All right, guys, quick trip to my local Auto Value parts store. Not O'Reilly's, but Auto Value. Were they the cheapest? I don't know, didn't check. They're my friends, so I shopped there. Got this ignition switch here. Now, looks simple enough. Yes. Bolt here, plug. So, I guess, let me get a light and some screwdrivers and a jackhammer and some duct tape and, find my way up under there and put this stupid thing on. Good Lord. Well, I think I got all the necessities here. Most importantly, take an animal on this truck. Okay guys, for this next segment, let's just say this. Be glad you're where you are and not here where I am.
Thanks, JT.
Because I have a feeling with the lack of space and not being able to see and all kinds of other good stuff wrapped up into a good time, even flies on the wall are going to be blushing. Well, here it is. Now, riddle me this, if you will. I'm sure there's a good reason this was on top of the steering column, probably to prevent theft or who knows what. Now, where it gets really fun, and this is where the exciting part comes in, you got a nut holding this down, then you got the dimmer switch on top, and a nut on top of the dimmer switch, and one nut on here. They're not all the same size even.
That doesn't make sense.
You got just about enough room to get a Smurf's hand up in there, but nevertheless, I could bitch all day. I'm not going to. I'll save that for off camera. So here's our old ignition switch. Here's our new ignition switch. I guess. Here goes nothing. Give me 5.7 hours to get this put back in, and I'll be right back with you. All right, so here's the moment of truth. Let's see if any of this was in vain or if it's actually going to work. Well, guys, it smells like the 80s in here. That's good news. Well, hopefully that'll solve my problem. I still feel like something's... I might have to adjust on that switch. That thing is just awful to work on. My patients have about had it. It's time to go in the house and play with Fluffy and have a beer. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.